Hello and welcome to Rosy Crafted Colours. Today I'm going to take part in the Positive 2020 tag. This was created here on YouTube by Mini Rach. I first saw this completed by Dani Buttons and I will link both videos in the description. I wanted to take part in this tag because I think we all need some positivity after the year we've all had. And I think it's really important to try and focus on the things that have been, good. There's been some good things happen this year too. It's not all just been negativity. So I really wanted to just focus on some of the good things, and I'm really pleased that Mini Rach created this tag. I think it's lovely. So today I'm going to be colouring in a picture I started last night actually in Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn, and it is this Alice in Wonderland picture, which it's going quite well. I think I went a bit electric with the blue, but I don't mind that. And also, I don't know if it picks up on the camera, but I coloured it on her face a little bit too much and the paper's gone a bit mad. It started to come up. Yeah, so I'm gonna get to colouring. I'm using Arteza Expert pencils. Some of mine have really got the names rubbed off by now, but this is Blueberry and I can't remember what number it is and I can't really see. It might be 370. So Blueberry, and then my next darkest is Peacock Blue 008, and then Robin Egg Blue 044. So they are the colours I'm using to do these blues. So the first question is, what was a happy memory before COVID? So a really happy memory that I had at the start of the year was my mum being discharged from the hospital to her doctors. So my mum last year, for almost the entire year, was incredibly unwell. She had an illness, and then while she was in hospital having an operation to remove the thing that had made her ill, she contracted MRSA and was extremely unwell. She was put into a medical coma, and there was a point where we weren't sure she was going to wake up, which was really awful. So, to get to the point where her hospital discharged her to her doctor is massive. It was massive, so huge. And just in case anyone is wondering, she'll never be the same again, but she is a much better, more well woman now. She's not going to be ever the same as she was before, but she is in a good place. So that was my positive memory from before all this, before 2020 happened, let's say, for good. So what helped you through the first wave? So the thing that helped me through the first wave is I have a 13-year-old daughter and she needed homeschooling. So really focusing on her homeschooling was a huge distraction and really helpful. I didn't have time to focus on what's going on around the world, and in England where I live, things were bad, and I didn't have to focus 100% on there. I had something else to do, something else to focus on, which, it was difficult to homeschool, but it was, as most parents will know, it's not easy, but it gave me something to focus on that wasn't to do with what was going on in the world. So the next question is, what is the positive connection you made online? So for me, my connection online is not going to be a single person. I only become part of the colouring community the very end of December, and it is the most welcoming, most kind and lovely community out there. I love the colouring community and I'm so proud to be part of it, and that is definitely my positive connection. I've made some lovely friends. I have some colouring friends who I really do count as my friends. You know, we may never meet, we may never ever speak to each other, you know, we might never speak in person, we might never speak on the phone or anything like that, but we are definitely friends. And there are some colouring friends that have been with me near the start of my journey, and I'm really thankful for them. They're all lovely, all wonderful, and what is really nice is not only do I have friends that colour from all over England, but I also have some friends that live around the world, which is really cool. Do you know, I have friends that live in South America. I have a friend that lives in South Africa. Do you know, that's awesome. Do you know, being friends with people from around the world. And the other thing that I think is really wonderful about the colouring community is I have friends that don't speak English and I don't speak their language either, but we are friends. You know, we somehow communicate through Instagram with our love of each other's works, and that's really cool. These are people that without the colouring community I would never ever ever have met. So yeah, that is my positive connection. It's not just one person, it is an entire community of wonderful colourists. What is your greatest achievement during lockdown? So my greatest achievement is going to be a colouring based one, because this is a colouring tag really. So I'm gonna do it colouring based, although, you know, I do have other achievements I could think about, but my greatest colouring achievement is probably reaching 1,000 followers on Instagram. That was really something. Do you know, just to think 1,000 people liked my pages and my art, my colouring enough to want to follow me and see more. It means an awful lot to me, you know, and every person that follows me on Instagram or, you know, now subscribes on here to me, it really does mean a lot to me that somebody would want to, one, watch my videos, and then two, want to watch more. And the same with my Instagram. It means a lot when somebody likes and comments on a picture of mine, but then it means so much more that when somebody subscribes and they want to see more, you know? Not that, I mean, I love everyone that comments on my pages, my page on Instagram. I love it. It's so uplifting. It's such a wonderful thing. The colouring community, like I said before, is just wonderful, and I am gushing a little, but I do really love the colouring community. It's a wonderful community, probably the friendliest community on the internet, I would say. I've never had any hate or nasty comments or anything like that, so I went a little bit off the track there. But the greatest achievement during lockdown to do with colouring is definitely reaching 1,000 followers on Instagram. So my next question is, what is the best colouring page you've done during lockdown? So this one, I got it out and it was in my finished pages for November, but this is definitely the best picture I have ever coloured, I feel. There's only one more picture that I like more than this, and it was coloured pre-lockdown. So this was done obviously not in the first lockdown because it is quite new, but in the UK we have just had another lockdown, and I live in an area where we were in the highest tier when they brought the tier system in. If you don't live in the UK, our government put in a tier system so that different areas would have different lockdown rules. But yeah, that is my favourite picture from lockdown. It was in Jasmine Beckett Griffith's Halloween colouring book. So what colouring artist were you introduced to during lockdown? So this is hard because I only started colouring really in December, the very end. And before then, I mean, I know which artists I knew of before. I knew of Jasmine Beckett Griffith because I had a Colour in Heaven, and I knew of the people that did the Frightlings book. I can't quite remember their name. And I knew of, obviously, John Basford, which we all knew, and Good Wives and Warriors I knew of too, and Hollow Moon Art. So anyone I've found since then is new. Hannah Lynn was new to me. I'd never seen her until this year. So, but the artist that I'm most pleased to have been introduced to was going to be tricky because there's quite a few. So there's Denise Collette, who does the Gnomes in the Neighbourhood books and like the fairies in Paradise and mermaids in Dreamland. I think it might be fairies in Dreamland, mermaids in Paradise actually. And then there's the Alan Roberts books. I love Alan Roberts books. They're beautiful. The Beauty of Horror books are amazing. And then there's Clara Markova. There's Eerie. There's so many. There's a huge amount. So it's really hard to sort of say one, but I would say the person's art that I was most excited by when I first found it was Alan Roberts, because before I found Alan Roberts books, I was all the colouring books I had seen were all cute and pretty, which is not bad, but I do like a bit of horror, and it was exciting to find some art that was also in that vein of thingy. So I know what I'm talking about, but I don't think I'm making much sense. So a song that helped you during lockdown. So the song I'm going to say helped me through lockdown. Sorry. I have the radio on all day in my kitchen, and I listen to classic rock because that is what I love. And I would say the song that's cheered me up the most is kind of a cheesy one, but I love singing it at the top of my voice. I'm not a good singer though, so no renditions on here for you, luckily. And that would be Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. I just think it's really good. It's really cheesy and I love it. So I will belt that song out to anybody. I'll belt that song out all day long, much to my daughter's distaste. So a TV show that helped you during lockdown. So me and my daughter are massive RuPaul's Drag Race fans. And we took the time to rewatch all the seasons again. Every season we watched it all over again, and then we started it again. And it is the biggest sort of program of escapism that I know. It just is pure escapism. Do you know? It's beautiful. Those drag queens are super talented, super talented and inspiring. Do you know, they are artists in their own right. So my next question is something I wouldn't have done if it wasn't for the pandemic. So the thing I wouldn't have done is this. I wouldn't have started YouTube. I always thought I'd like to, but I didn't have the confidence, and I think it does show at times that I'm not hugely confident about doing this, which I think will come with time. But I would never have done this. I would never have sat down and thought, I'm going to make a YouTube video, because in my mind, I can't imagine that anyone would want to watch a video that I created. But I do love colouring videos, and I love watching people's videos, and love all kinds of people. There's people I watch who have thousands of followers, and then there's people I watch that have a handful of followers, and I love everyone's videos I watch. I'm blown away by the content some people make, beautiful videos by a lot of interesting and cool colorists out there. So that's the thing I wouldn't have done if this hadn't happened. I probably would never have got the courage to have started a YouTube channel. So the thing is, I just sort of was sitting there thinking, why not? Why shouldn't I? I should do it, definitely. And it took me a little while, but I really pushed myself to do it. Like I really wanted to do it, but I just didn't have the confidence. So I'm really glad that I did, you know, because I'm enjoying this. I might not have a lot of followers, subscribers, sorry, and I might not get the hugest amount of views, but I'm happy doing it. So that's what matters. So, what is something you are looking forward to doing when all this is over, all this pandemic is over, the world is back to normal? So, the thing I'm looking forward to doing, I think most, is I haven't seen my family since last year because they live in Birmingham. So a lot of my family I haven't seen because I live quite far away from them. And I would really love to see my family. I would, if I can get down to see them as soon as I can, I will. I really miss them. So there's that. And also the other thing I would love to do after the pandemic, it's all gone and everything's back to normal, is take my daughter to the theatre. We love good musical and I would like to take her to the theatre to go see something. So that is all my questions done. And I'd like to say to anybody who's watched, thank you. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope this has been of some interest. I didn't get a lot of colouring done, but then I am quite a slow colourist. So if you'd like to take part in this, please just do it. Just take part. I'm not going to tag anyone, but there are some lovely people out there that I really enjoy the videos of. And if they want to take part, they can. If they see my video and think I'd like to do it too, I'd like to spread some positivity after the year we've all had, then I would love to see some videos by some of the people that I love to watch, that I know a couple of them watch my videos. So please feel free to join in. Go check out Mini Rach's original video and Dani Button's video too. And that is all from me. So if you like my video, please subscribe, possibly like the video too. And goodbye. Happy colouring.